So on this topic, which is Elementi Costituitivi del Veicolo e Manutenzione, is about the parts of the vehicle and when to, let me say, repair parts of the vehicle, which are very, very useful for the circulation of the vehicle on the road. So
Elementi costitutivi.
Let's take a look at this part of the vehicles, which are very, very important. Let's dive into it. Okay. So elementi costitutivi is the parts of the vehicle. We have the wheels, the tires of the vehicle, the brake, the ABS, the suspensions of the vehicle, which are parts that are very, very important when circulating on the road. Of course, that is if they are all working properly. When any part of the vehicle is not working properly, what do? You take it to the assistenza meccanica, which is to the mechanic, for them to repair any broken parts or to replace it. Now, serbatoio lava cristallo, it is the, let me say, the liquid which is being used to clean the windshield or the glass where you used to see the road. Okay, so it must be always full so that we can clean our windshield when it is needed. Because if the windshield is covered with dust, we will not be able to see well the road. The wiper must be replaced if it is consumed. Now, pneumatici is the tires. When we say pneumatici, we are talking about copertura e gomme, ruota o cerchio. Together, we form what? Ruota. I repeat, copertone o gomma, which is the plastic part of the tire, which is the battistrada, the part that touches the floor, together with the ruota o cerchio. So the cerchio is the one inside, or is the part inside the copertone or the gomma. Together forms what? La ruota, which is the tire of the vehicle. Is that clear? These are the parts of the tire itself. Battistrada, like I said, is the part that touches the floor or the road or the asphalt. Struttura di rinforzo, which is the strengthening part of the tire. The fianco is the side of the tire. The fianco is what? It's just the side of the tire. The carcassa is the inside part of the tire. It's the internal part, okay, of the tire. It's what we call carcassa. Carcassa. Is that clear? Okay. Let's move forward. So now you know exactly everything concerning the tires. Carta di circolazione, it's for ordinary vehicles, which is the libretto. Now, this type of vehicle, which is a giant vehicle, these ones are not allowed to be circulating on the road ordinarily because they are being used for race and specific, let me say, purposes. Okay. So they are not considered as ordinary vehicles circulating on the road. Pneumatici uguali sulle ruote dello stesso asse, meaning we must have the same type of tires on both four positioning side of the vehicle. So the front wheels must be the same. The back wheels must be the same. I repeat, the front tires must be the same, of the same type. The back tires must also be of the same type in order to guarantee balance to the circulation of the vehicle. Okay, you see? So if you are changing them, the changing can be done when the front wheels are consumed. So you exchange the front one with the back ones so that the front one, which is where we brake, which is where we press the brake, it will not affect us when we press the brake on the road. Very good. Azoto, ossigeno. When we are pumping our tires, we have to make sure we are pumping it with oxygen, which is oxygen. We must pump it with what? Oxygen, which is oxygen. We must pump it at the right bar. The bar is the level or the measurement of the oxygen being pumped in the tires. And the azote, of course, is a different kind of oxygen. The wheels must be pumped the same way. One should not be pumped than the other. Both tires should be pumped the same, pumped the same bar. The bar is the, is the calculation being used to pump the tires. Then we have rota di scorta. So the rota di scorta also should be pumped and it should be 0.2 bar. Just like all the other tires of the vehicle should be 0.2 bar. Not more and not less. If it's lesser than 2 bar, it means the vehicle's tires the air is exiting from it in one way or the other. So we have to, as soon as possible, pump it. The oxygen, or the pump of these articulated vehicles or camion transporting wood, the bar is beyond the 2 bar. It has to be increased to 3 bar, just as we can see. Okay. When one of our wheels is broken or is flopped, we have to change it, reducing the speed and going to pump it as we ought to before circulating on the road again. Pneumatico sgonfio, the tire is flopped. So what happens here is that we have to increase the oxygen in the tire. When the tire is very, very flopped, what happens is that, first of all, it consumes fuel, aumenta il consumo di carburante con pneumáticos gonfio. Also aumenta l'atrito. It increases the adhesion force when it is flopped, okay? Because it will be laid on the road. Pressione di gonfiaggio troppo bassa. When the pump or when the tire is flopped or when the oxygen in the tire is troppo bassa, is very low, the side of the tire begins to consume, and this affects the stability of the vehicle, making it to lose balance. So you see, when the side of the tire are consumed, it affects the stability of the vehicle. The tire should be 1.6 millimeters. Okay, that's the thickness of the tire. Eccolo qua. Tipo di pneumatici. Different types of tires. We have the tube one, the tire that has a tube within, and the tubeless, which is the tire without a tube. I repeat, we have two types of tires. The tube one, which is the tire with a tube, which is the camera d'aria, and the tubeless, which is the one without a tube within. The one without tube, I repeat, the one without tube, when it gets a puncture, the air gets out more difficultly, not more quickly. Meanwhile, the one with the tube, when it gets a puncture, the air exits faster. I repeat, the tires with tube, the one with the tube within, when it gets a puncture, the oxygen exits very fast. The one without tube, which is the tubeless, when it gets a puncture, what happens? What happens is that the air exits gradually. What I've told you right now, it is how the question is formed concerning pneumatici with tubo or without tubo. Pneumatici, tubi. So we have copertone, which is the covering. We have the camera d'aria, which is the tube, and the cerchio. Okay, the cerchio, which is the beautifying part. The cerchio or the circle of the tire. Okay, which is pneumatici tube. These are the components of the tires with tube. This is the tubeless one. The tubeless one is without a tube within. So it has the copertone and the cerchio alone. Copertone and cerchio alone. That's all. So just as I told you, that the one with tube, pneumatici con camera d'aria, when it gets a puncture, the air exits fast. The one without tube, which is the pneumatici tubeless, when it gets a puncture, it takes more time before the air exits. Is that clear? Make sure, let me know if it is clear. Write something in the comment section, okay, before we proceed. Okay. If that is clear, then let's move forward. What do we have here? Striscia galvanizzante. Striscia galvanizzante. Oppure toppa dall'interno. That is, if there is a puncture from the outside, you try to pull the nail within the tire. It is not allowed to pull the nail out, because by pulling out the nail, because of the pressure in the tire, it might push the nail towards you, and that can hurt you. You can die. If that small nail enters your eye, oh boy, nobody, it will hurt you. So don't try funny things when there is a nail in the tire. If you try to remove it, it could be very dangerous for your health. So don't try. Okay. These are the other states or kinds of ties we can be having according to the atmosphere or the environment or the weather. Which is pneumatici termici da neve, which is the ties for snow. Pneumatici termici. Catene da neve, which is the chains for the snow tire. Then pneumatici chiodati, which is the tire with nails inside. Now, this nails is not the type of nails we saw before that you have to pull it out. This one is specifically done in that manner with nails inside. Okay, to increase the adhesion force, especially circulating on road like ice or snow. So you see, the road with ice or snow, it has the chain for the snow tire, so that the vehicle can have more adhesion force in order not to break down the suspensions or the amortizators of the vehicle. Now, what is happening here? The chain that the driver had on was not omologato or omologate, means it is the type which is not authorized by the law. When the police catches you, they will do what? Sanzione amministrativa, which is they will give you a multa. So don't try funny things. You see, pneumatici termici for winter, when you load them on, it allows you to circulate smoothly on the road. This one is the pneumatici chiodati. So the chiodati is used for what? For winter. Road with ice or road with snow, so that you can have adhesion force and be able to move smoothly on the road. Pneumatici chiodati, being used for a specific period of the year, which is winter period. Sostituzione di una ruota, which is how to substitute or how to change a tire. The process whereby you change a tire. Let's see. Freno di stazionamento is what? Is the handbrake. And then we have la prima marcia, which is the first gear. Retro Marcia, which is what? Reverse. Reverse. Let's see why they are showing us this. Prima marcia, freno di stazionamento, which is the handbrake, and we use it when we park. So here you see, the civilian has a flopped tire. So let's see how he or she is going to change the tire. You take the jack, you position it close to where the tire is flopped. You start scrolling down or scrolling what the how do they call this thing again? You begin to scroll out the tire gradually, okay? You position the jack below the vehicle, the nuts. Mr. Mike, thank you. You scroll the nuts, exactly. Knowledge is wisdom, man. Knowledge is not in the head of one man. Me, I don't tire. I'm tired. Woo! It's not easy. You teach, you forget everything. Okay. So you position the jack close to the tire that must be changed. Not far away, but close to the tire that must be changed. You lift the vehicle a little bit. Then you take out the tire that is flopped. Then, of course, you put in the new one, you screw back, and then you lower the vehicle, then you remove the jack. You remove the jack after you have tightened the nuts, okay, of the tire, the 4 nuts. Then you go your way. This thing I've showed you, for instance, is to show somebody how to change the tire. In case you don't know, now you know. It's so simple. Okay. What is not allowed for us to do is to go below the vehicles, to go under the vehicle. What if the vehicle falls on you? Oh boy, you don't die. So avoid going below or under the vehicle when you are changing the wheels. Be very careful. Velocità massima. Now, the high speed limit allowed for you to circulate, you must obey it because it is positioned on the road. Is that clear? Now, when you change the wheels of your tire, you have to watch your speed carefully because you are no more allowed to drive at a certain speed. Okay, because you are using ruota di scorta, which is the spare tire. And the spare tire, the shape is smaller than the ordinary tires. That is why it is dangerous to go very fast when you are having on the spare tire, which is the ruota di scorta. Ruota di scorta. So with the ruota di scorta, don't go more than, let me go back and make it clear for everyone. With the ruota di scorta, don't go more than 80 kilometers per hour. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Okay. Sospensioni. Where are the suspensions positioned? Sono poste tra il telaio e le ruote, sia anteriori che posteriori. collaborano a rendere più confortevole e sicura la guida, meaning the suspensions of the vehicle makes the drive more comfortable and more safe. 3. Collaborano alla dirigibilità del veicolo. They help to direct straight the vehicle, or they help the vehicle's tire to go straight. That is dirigibilità del veicolo. These are words you see in the questions. There's nothing different here. These are the same thing. Okay, the fourth one, it says, garantiscono che le ruote rimangano aderenti al fondo stradale, meaning the suspensions guarantee that your tires remain attached to the floor or to the asphalt. That is what the suspension does. The last one, it says, garantiscono lo smorzare di gli urti trasmessi dalle asperità del terreno. This one is Italian language. You better come and learn Italian language also in my class. You better join that class too, so that you learn Italian language. If you want to live here for long, come and join the Italian language class. It says, garantisco, it guarantees lo smorzare gli urti, meaning to balance the shaking, the urti. Urti means when your vehicle hits on a road with potholes or inside potholes, you don't feel it anymore. So garantisce lo smorzare gli urti, so that you do not feel the shaking or the vehicle tires hitting on the potholes too much as you are seated in the vehicle. That's the meaning of the last part, which says, garantiscono lo smorzare gli urti trasmessi dalle asperità del terreno. Now, le sospensioni possono diventare inefficienti per usura o per aver subito urti troppo forti. Blessings, Sabato. Okay, you want to join? You better join this thing quick before everything is covered. So, it says, le sospensioni possono diventare inefficienti per usura o per aver subito urti troppo forti. Meaning the suspension can become ineffective or inefficient. Why? Because they are being consumed. Because they have been holding too much of, let me say, urti, crash, too many crash. That is, every time the road you transit on has got potholes. So after a period of time, the suspensions breaks, okay? The second one, un veicolo con sospensioni inefficienti ha problemi di tenuta di strada. When the suspensions are inefficient, the vehicle has problems when circulating on the road, of course. Il sovraccarico del veicolo può comportare l'usura, la rottura o la loro temporanea inefficienza. Let me repeat the number 3. It says, il sovraccarico del veicolo può comportare l'usura, la rottura o la loro temporanea inefficienza. Means the overweight of the vehicle can consume what? The shock absorbers or the suspensions. And it can break down the suspensions. Why? Because of the overweight, sovraccarico, overweight. The last one, it says, un veicolo con sospensioni inefficienti aumenta l'affaticamento alla guida del conducente e può avere come conseguenza l'anomalo orientamento dei proiettori annabaianti. This, everything you see here reflects in the quiz. Everything. The last one, it says, if the suspensions are inefficient, it also increases the difficulty, or okay, or it also increases, let me say, the driving, and makes the driving more difficult for the driver, because you begin to lose balance, and by losing balance, even the orientation of the annabaiante, of the dim light, also is being projected in the wrong way, because the suspensions are inefficient. They are not working well. So the vehicle itself is not balanced. Instead of being straight, it is unbalanced like this. Instead of being straight like this, it is unbalanced like this, shaking like this when circulating on the road. That's the meaning of the last question there. Are you enjoying something? Yes or no? Now, the same thing applies to the amortizators, which is the ammortizzatori. When it is consumed or it is inefficient, it can consume the battistrada of the tires. Okay. It can also break down the springs of the suspensions. And it can also make the vehicle lose balance whilst circulating, of course, on the road. Lo sterzo, which is the steering, if we realize the steering is shaking, it's probably because there is something wrong with the tires of the vehicle. Okay, that is lo sterzo, the steering. Okay, what's this? What you see inside there, if I'm not mistaken, it is the ABS. What is the use of the ABS? The ABS works together with the brakes of the vehicle, so that when you press the brake, your vehicle does not lose. Look at that. These people, they make me laugh. I pause this thing. Let me drink water a little bit, for what is coming is very heavy. What is coming is heavy. Let me drink small water. So, my people, let's move forward. So, you see the ABS. Okay. As soon as you finish watching the movie, I will show you, I will explain to you where the ABS, how it works. Okay. So, what is the purpose of the ABS? The ABS is so that, its purpose is just so that when you press the brake, your vehicle does not lose, the tires do not block. Okay, the ABS, it prohibits the tires from blocking when you press the brake suddenly, or when you press the brake on a slippery road. That is the work of the ABS, anti-blocking system. Is that clear? The ABS functions on both wheels, front and back. Front and back. That's what we are seeing. Front and back. Thank you, Mr. Mike. Allora, so you see, the woman presses on the brake suddenly. You see the ABS inside there. Look at that. Look at that. It begins to work so that the wheels are not blocked. Let me show you the thing again. Let me go back. Let me show you how the vehicle ABS works. Okay, let me go back again. Go back again. Okay, so what's this? Look at how the ABS work. Enjoy. You press the brake. The ABS is activated so that the wheels are not blocked, so that you can still control the vehicle, you see? So let's see inside of the vehicle how the ABS is activated. Okay, so you see, when the ABS is activated, the vehicle gains control on the road. Simple. Very simple. So like I said, the ABS activates on all wheels, front and back, so that you can control your vehicle very well. So look at the inside there. Activation of the ABS. Very good. So it's very important. Ok. Now, comportamenti per una maggiore sicurezza. This is how you have to comport yourself or behave when you are driving to increase safety. Your own safety, or also the safety of those that are on the road. Let's proceed. Frenata, which is you must not press the brake suddenly. Okay. And also, whenever you are pressing the brake, you make sure you are not pressing the brake in the wrong place. And also, you are not stopping in the wrong place. That is the frenata. You make sure your brake is efficient before also circulating or making long journeys. The braking system, if it is inefficient, you have to check it, take it to the mechanic for them to repair any broken part of the braking system. This one is the brake pad. The brake pad can be preserved for a longer time when, in case we are descending from a mountain, discesa da una montagna, we have to do what? Reduce our speed by engaging in a lower gear. That's why we see that here they have put in the first gear, so that the vehicle will be proceeding or descending slowly in order not to use for too long the brake. Because if you use the brake for too long, you will consume the brake pad faster. Okay? So you see, here you control your speed in order not to hit, let me say, a domestic animal on the road or a selvatic animal on the road. Auto lavaggio. When do you need the auto lavaggio? Auto lavaggio is just to wash your vehicle. You proceed gradually as you enter in the auto lavaggio. You keep your vehicle clean from dirt, sand. Okay. Now, here the car crashes. What are they showing us? It means when the sun is facing you, you can drive in the wrong way if you are not paying attention. What are they also showing us here? We have sand. Okay, sand on the left and right. What are they telling us? What does it mean? What they're actually showing us is in case our vehicle is faulty, we have to park the vehicle. And when we are searching also on the navigation system to get to a place or to a destination, what must we do? We have the audacity or the authority to do it only when the vehicle is stopped. So here, the driver is actually driving. He's already moving on the road, yet trying to change the navigation system. It is prohibited to avoid yourself crashing with other vehicles on the road. Using the telephone is very dangerous because it can remove your attention on the road. Is that clear for everyone? When the road is full of fog, you must on the heater in order to melt the ice on the windshield. Okay, so that you can see well the road. Let me know you are learning something. If you are not learning anything, also you can write it. That, hey, I'm not learning anything. No. Okay. What are we seeing here? Do you people understand what I have projected here right now? Do you people see it clear? Now, this one is an object below what? The seat of the driver. So what does it mean? It simply means we are not allowed to put any other object on the seat of the driver. Okay? Because that object can flip forward where the control of the vehicle is, which is the acceleration, the brake, and the clutch. Now, you turn on the heater to melt the ice. Okay, it's the heater you turn on to melt the ice, Mr. Mike. Okay. What are they showing us here? They are just alerting us of the high speed limit of 80 kilometers per hour on the autostrada. And also telling us on the left side that there is an accident. Because of that accident, there is a traffic on the road. Then the road is blocked at 10 kilometers. Okay, at 10 kilometers, the road is what? Blocked. We cannot do overtaking. That is, a car cannot overtake a car. And like I said before, the speed limit renewed is 80 kilometers per hour on this road. The impianto discarico, we have already seen it before on the other topic, so we don't need to waste time here. What are they showing us here? When you see these panels, they are indicating a sharp curve. So joined together, they represent a curve where we have to turn on this road. This is also a curve in the city. This is also a curve, also close to the city, tangentially probably. Then the bars, or let me say the oxygen in the wheels, in the tires. This is how we have to comport ourselves according to the type of road in which we circulate. When there is ice, we have to reduce our speed. When there is sand, we need to, of course, watch our speed. When the road is wet, we have to watch our speed, which is the aquaplaning. The last one, which the vehicle is flipped upside down, is because the vehicle was driving fast and it slipped where? On a wet road or a road with, let me say, something like oil. So these things happen when we do not watch our speed and we just drive for driving's sake. Okay, we have to be careful and consider all these different kinds of dangers that could be present on the road. On the tram road, on the tram lane, we have to watch our speed, especially if it is raining and if we are driving a vehicle with motorbike or with two tires. It's easy for us to lose control on this type of roads. When we stop with our motorbike, we have to be not on the attraversamento pedonale, but we have to be behind the linea trasversale. So you see the scooter has crossed the linea trasversale and it's already inside the linea attraversamento pedonale, so which is prohibited. On a curve, we are not allowed to stop or to park, or to turn to the left or to the right. We just have to keep circulating until we get to a place where we are allowed to park on the left or on the right. So the vehicle flips, okay? Why? Because the speed was too much on an icy road. This one also flips because of the speed. Let's see this one. It also flips because of the high speed. Watch this one. So this one, we are going to see the distanza di frenatura. Inizio frenata, it starts pressing the brake. Okay. Then what happens here is that inizio frenata, again, this one inizio frenata. What are they showing us here? Let me make it clear for everyone to understand very well what this sign or this diagram actually means. It means when you want to stop your vehicle on a road with ice or with snow, you need to first reduce your speed. If you do not want the vehicle to lose balance or to slip on the road. Is that clear? Let's move forward. When you are turning on a curve, do not do it in a high speed, but reduce your speed before you turn in order not to lose balance or destroy your vehicle. When you are transporting load, make sure your vehicle can handle the load that you are transporting. And of course, you have to watch your speed in order not to lose balance again. So here you can see on a curve, reduce your speed, not to lose balance. The same thing, look at this. He was driving too fast, so he loses balance because it was going too fast. Veicolo a motore a due ruote. Vehicles with two tires that has engine. We talk about motorbike and scooter. So let us watch our speed wherever we are driving. Okay, and according to the condition of the road, let us be very careful. God bless you all for watching. Like the video and subscribe. This is Marvin the teacher. Always something new. Join the class. See you the next time. I'll be sending the link for the other topic within 5 minutes. God bless you. Ciao.